All right, let's make a quiz in Simple Funnels. We are going to start over on the left under websites, and then at the top, it's going to say quiz. You're going to click on it, and we are going to click on builder, and then you can start from scratch or create from a template. I'm going to show you the quiz that I created. You can make this as elaborate or as simple as you would like. First, I would suggest making your quiz on a Word document or a Google Canvas document so you're not starting from scratch. This one is a very simple quiz that has 3 choices. You can mix these choices up so that it's not all low, medium, high, but for this scenario, I'm just going to have it as low point, medium point, and high point. I also have 3 different products that I'm going to recommend based on the type of answer that this person is going to give. So just a simple walkthrough. I have these as a multiple choice. You can do a single choice. You can also create quizzes for your existing audience where it's not necessarily a lead generator and you are just pulling your audience. In that case, I would not be asking them for their information at the bottom. It could just be a simple yes or no. This can help you decide on what program to launch next or what course to create. You can use this in many different ways, but in this case, I'm using it as a lead generator. So I have 3 different products that I'm going to be pitching at the end based on their answer. So again, you can make this as pretty or as simple as you want. You can embed this quiz inside a website or inside an existing course. But again, this is going to be a lead generator. I used multiple choice. You can use yes or no. You could use short answer, long answer, depending on what type of information you are trying to get. You could do a multiple drop down, a single drop down, or a number where they can't write out like a physical sentence. They can have to write in a number. All right, so over here is where you're going to have your multiple choice, in my case, and you're going to want to make sure that each of these answers are required. That way that they will only be able to move on if they answer the question. Unless it's not important to you, then you can not make it required. So I'm just going to make sure I'm doing that. Okay, so I'm going to make sure that I'm giving each of these answers a different weighted value so that they end up with a score. This is important if you want to segment your list at the end or segment the fact that you want to send this type of person an email funnel based on their answer, then a different type of email funnel for a different type of answer. So giving them a score for each answer is going to give them their answer, and it's also going to be able to segment their list. You don't have to do it this way. You could send everybody that takes your quiz one single email funnel. Again, this can be as elaborate or as simple as you want it to be, depending on how much time you want to take building it out. For this case, I'm pretending that I'm going to pitch my boot camp, which is $27 to anything for this first answer. I'm going to pitch my team of bots, which is an AI course that helps you build out your funnel for this one. And then I'm going to pitch out my membership that has coaching aspects to it for the person who's really ready to go all in. All right. Again, you can mix these up so it's not so black and white, like I'm just starting out, not familiar, I need guidance. We can totally mix this up and you would put that score wherever you want. All right, so let's go down to the answers. We're going to grab their email first before they find their answers. This way we can send them an email sequence based on their answers. They will also, after they submit, get the results. But here is where you're going to have them fill out their name and their email, and we're going to make sure that it is a contact that is going to be entered into our system. So the results template is pretty straightforward, depending again on how complicated you want this to be or how simple you want this to be. but I'm going to show you the 3 things that I pitch when giving these answers, okay? So the first thing that we want to look at the top is thank you for taking the time to complete this quiz. You can say whatever you want. Low score would be 20%. The medium score has the same answer. And high score, thank you for taking the time to take this quiz. You can have them show their overall score or not. You can take away the tiers if you don't want them to see low, medium, and high. And you can give them a percentage. This is the padding, and you can change the background color, okay? So the score tiers are low. This is 39% or lower. They're going to get the boot camp. Medium, 40% to 79%. They will get pitched the Team of Bots course. And high, 80 to 100%, they will get pitched the prep school membership, okay? So here is where they're going to get pitched whatever you want them to get pitched. You can pitch the same product no matter what they score, or you can suggest different products based on their score. They're also going to get an email sequence. So if they get scored low, this is dynamic content. Again, you can turn this off if you want to just have a single pitch for all the answers, but this is going to be dynamic, meaning they're going to get a different button based on their score. So you need help getting this set up. If they scored this low score, it's going to be grab the boot camp. I can put the boot camp link here and they can grab it and grab that for $27 and see if this is a right project that they want to take on or not. Medium, I would say grab Team of Bats. You're pretty confident, but you may need some support. I would suggest the Team of Bats program. I would throw in that URL. And then if they score high, I would put join prep school and I would pitch this button there, okay? So that concludes this aspect. Now, how do we set them off on a automation and an email automation that is congruent to what they want to do? You're going to start a new automation and we are going to create the trigger is quiz submitted. The name of the quiz is the mini course quiz, overall score. So this would be quiz to boot camp. This would be low score. So if their overall score is less than 20%, so we can go back over here, go get the results, and we can click on here, score tiers. Low is 0 to, let's do 20%. Medium is 21% to 79%, and then 80% to 100%, okay? So if their overall score is less than 20%, we're going to save it. You can add the tag. I would put under 20% quiz taker, and then I would set them off on an email sequence that is pitching the boot camp. Okay, so you can create separate workflows based on what their score is. Again, you can use this live person. They do best when you send them a Loom, a video Loom explaining exactly what you need help with. Slip that Loom right into this chat with the live person, and they can walk you through any little hiccups or issues that you have based on what you're building out.